Welcome, friends! Retro Sega Wonder Show. Today we're going to play a little real-time strategy game for the Sega Genesis called Tyrants Fight Through Time. It's a little bit of a god simulator. We're just going to get right into it. I always go with Oberon. Here you can pick which island you want to start with. The default island is fine. It only has 2 spaces. It's a small island, and it's a good introduction to the game. So we'll play this island here. And now we have to choose how many of our 100 people we want to put on the island. You don't want to use them all because you have to save some for the other islands too. 25 should be plenty. Then you pick where you want to put them, and then you go to town. Okay, you have 25 people. They will increase slowly over time. We need to start by researching things. These are personal weapons, these are defensive weapons for buildings, these are building shields. Let's start with the defensive building weapons. Put the maximum number of people we can on the job. And then this clock shows how long it'll take. So the next thing we want to do is just speed up time, so we don't have to wait around so long. You increase your strength and discover new recipes by advancing your tech level. And you advance your tech level through researching technology. So we'll go ahead and just start working through the tech tree.
Ergonomically terrific.
Slingshots. And we're also slowly getting more people added to our people thing. Very scientific. And you do want to make sure that you get some troops out and ready before your opponents do. You can use these shields to make a truce.
We've advanced a tech level.
See there, we've advanced a tech level. You can use these shields to forge a truce with some of the other players, but that's only when there's more than one other opponent. Okay, now we have 28 people, and now it gives us the option of mining for some resources, while this resource is just gathered automatically over time, and this shows you how much of each resource you have. Let's put 2 people on each resource and research a spear. And then I think after we complete researching the spear, well, we still need to do the level 1 shield. And then after that, we'll start actually giving some people some of the weapons and stuff we're developing. Okay, let's see what our opponent is up to. They haven't advanced much at all. And if you look right below the island, where it says the island's name, it also gives the approximate time period that that particular sector is currently in. So you can see we're further advanced than they are, just by the time period. Okay, let's develop these level 1 shields.
We've advanced a tech level.
Very nice. Now, we'll go back to the main menu here. And let's just put some basic defenders in place for now. And we did so just in time, because here they are. But we have a bunch of slingshot people. We'll just put all of our people here. And you can see our people are just wrecking them. If you look at these numbers right here, you can see our relative troop strengths. In fact, we've wrecked them so hard, we might as well just go on the offensive now. And move our people over here. Because that was probably all the troops they had available to them. So they shouldn't have many troops left to defend themselves with. So we can go here to their little sector and just destroy them. Such a friendly game. So they did come up with 12 people, but again, they're like Stone Age people to our Romanesque people, so with slingshots. Congratulations, O President of Aloha! So the first island has been conquered. RJ Nash, nice to catch you live. Thank you very much, RJ. Thanks for tuning in. When you look at the island selection here, you have the green island, and you have this island. Now you notice with this island you have two opponents to go up against. So, it's best to save them for last after you've gained more experience with the game. Plus it's a bigger island. So this is a pretty natural progression of islands, just to go from the leftmost island to the farthest right island. Which is what we'll do! And I think another 25 troops should do it. That'll save a nice contingent of troops for the next island when we have to go up against two opponents. Let's put them right here. When you have a larger island or a larger space, you can take some of your troops and advance into other squares, other sectors, and build more castles or bases or whatever. My pleasure, friend. How long is this session expected to be? Oh, not too terribly long, RJ. Oh. The enemy is already working on building another base. Either that or they're just scouting. No, it looks like they're just scouting. Just playing some of this game, RJ. Just have some fun with it. We'll develop our rock throwers next. Surprisingly enough, they throw rocks.
Ergonomically terrific.
And the basic level of building defense. In this game, when you get to later levels, you can advance, I think, into futuristic sci-fi tech levels even. I used to play this game quite a bit. Now, do we have the slingshots yet? No, let's get the slingshots next. Because then we can begin to wreckify them. Okay, well, I'm around. You deserve a decent-sized audience. Love your content. Thank you, RJ Nash. Very kind of you. I appreciate it. And always glad to have you here, certainly. We'll just put two people onto mining the, this element. What's it called again? The, oh, it's moonlight. Yes, moonlight. Very clever of them. What's their troop size here of their little exploration parties? They have 5 people. We should be able to take our more advanced slingshot friends. Maybe 10 of them, say. This is a little risky, but we're going to try to build. And I think we have more people than Oh, 16. Well, they have 16 people, but they're Stone Age level, so I think we're doing okay. We'll just leave them here. Keep an eye on them in case the enemy moves any pieces in here, any troops in here. Once you do build a new base, it also starts off at the Stone Age level, so you have to advance them up as well. But in the meantime, let's see, that will take 2 to complete. That will also take 2. It looks like it's about equal, an equal amount of time it takes to complete either one. Just trying to continue to complete the tech recipes so we can advance tech levels and continue to dominate.
The design's ready.
And as you can see, the enemy has already built a second base. We're going to abandon our efforts here just for a moment. And no, these are the building defenses. We want the troop defenses, the troopity doops. And throw all of our troops at them to be able to destroy their base. Quite advanced for the 16-bit consoles, especially Genesis. Yeah, it actually has a fair amount of depth for a real-time strategy game on the Genesis. In fact, we have enough people, we should be able to just take them out entirely and stop fiddling around with trying to build alternate bases. Come on, guys, let's do it. Rated out of 10? Well, the rating I would give it, it partially depends on your own personal interests. If you like real-time strategy games. If you like real-time strategy games, and if you take the time to get familiar and comfortable with the game, and really get into the game and its nuances, I would give it probably an 8 out of 10, especially compared to what other games are available on the Genesis, other strategy games are available. So it is highly dependent on personal preference, but I think it's a good game. Congratulations, O King of Bazooka! And now we have the big battle, where we have to go up against 2 opponents on a much larger island. And this is where you can begin to make alliances with some of the other people. So we'll use all 50 of our remaining troops because you get a new fresh supply of troops when you move to the next section. Now we can move to these outlying areas, but the problem with that is you can only move troops to an adjacent square, which means we could only move troops here, but it does also mean we have more defense. So let's just put them here. Wow, that's good. Graphics remind me of cannon fodder. Yeah, I mean, they're simple graphics, certainly. They get the job done, though. Let's try to make friends with green with green. Can we make friends with green? Oh, I think we did make friends with green. Okay, we did. Okay, good. So now we have an alliance with green against blue. Which is good, at least for now. It means that we can ignore green for the moment while we continue to build up our tech levels. Yeah, RJ, I always appreciate sort of the quirky Genesis games. Like this one and that other quirky game, The Haunting, starring Poltergeist, which I've played before. I think there might be a video of it on the channel, I don't know. Sort of a sloppy video. I was just getting familiar with streaming at the time, but There are a few games that use the Genesis in really creative ways or have really creative gameplay styles, and I always appreciate that. You do spend a lot of time going back and forth between this time setting tool while you're trying to research things. Now, technically, you could just use a few of your troops to research new technologies, but I like to throw all my troops on it to get it done really quick so we can advance the tech levels more quickly. I would say one of the things that takes the most getting used to with this game is just the navigation, as in with the navigating the cursor around. Like you hit the A button and that zooms around to the different sections. And then of course you use the D-pad for more fine controls. Let's see, how many troops do they have tossing about? 17. And our friends, our friendly greens, have 28. Put about 5 on there. Let's get some building defenses up and going. Actually, let's just research the spears next, and then put those on the building. Me too. I tend to go overboard, though, and love super quirky ones such as Toe Jam and Earl, etc. Yeah, that's a fun game. I think the quirkiest version of Toe Jam and Earl I ever played was the version that came with the, what was the light gun called? The one that looked kind of like, almost like a bazooka or something. And it came with a cartridge that had 3 games on it. One with Bugs, one with a Toe Jam and Earl sort of game, and something else. I can't remember. Okay, good. We have the building defenses in place. Now let's research our lovely and powerful slingshots. The power of a slingshot. And they're fighting over here. But they're still at Stone Age. They're still at Stone Age. We could send troops to help our allies, but I think we'll just continue to advance our tech levels instead. And then bow and arrows for complete domination. You do have to keep an eye on the shields when you have an alliance, because sometimes the other players will just randomly remove themselves from the alliance, so you have to be aware of that. Now we've reached medieval. Medievalish, 900 AD. Well, I guess technically that's not medieval, but it looks medieval. And we can develop a mine if we want to. We can build a mine. But instead, let's take some of our bow and arrow fellows. Can only make 5 of them. Let's see what we need to make more bow and arrows. We need 1.5 of that thingy and 1/2 of the sparkle thingy. So let's put 5 more on mining that resource. And we have plenty of this other thing, which you just gather by hand. I don't know if I want to commit any troops to building a mine when we're basically just trying to win quickly. We'll probably have to pull them out almost immediately. But we'll give it a try. Although they're not putting up much of a defense. So maybe we'll actually win this one. Oh, yes. When green and blue were fighting just a little bit ago, maybe green wiped out most of blue. which would be helpful to us. And green is still just at Stone Age and has a fair handful of people. But we're far more advanced than them, which means after we defeat blue, we should be able to go up against green fairly easily. Let's just do this. I saw a blue dot here for a second, but it looks like we destroyed them with our superior boingy bits. Ready Aim Tomatoes, Space Station Defender, Frontline, Rockman Zone, a few Menacer games. Yeah, the Menacer, that's what it was called. I had that thing, but I never got any more games for it other than what it came with. So I actually didn't use it too much. I don't think we want to leave these people here. Our mine is complete though, which allows us to mine more resources and get more advanced technology. Let's move them over here. Well, over here. You can only go to adjacent squares. Notice that now that there are only 2 players left, ourselves and the green people, we no longer have the alliance. That's automatically cancelled because there's only 2 people on the island. They are wiping out some of our men, but we're wiping out quite a few of theirs. So at least we're diminishing their troop levels, but we'll take these people and put them back home. And then we can take them and put them back in the base like that. So now we've bolstered our number of troops by a little bit. And advance the cauldron for more advanced base defense. Excellent. And then they're still at Stone Age. So what do we need for slingshots? Because we should be able to take them out with slingshots if they're still at Stone Age level. For slingshots we need 1/2 of that and 1/2 of the sparkle thingy. And how many of the sparkle thingy do we have? We only have 4, which means we can only have 8 slingshotters. So let's put 30 people on mining that. Speed up time just a little bit. And while we're in the process of speeding up time, we might as well be using it efficiently.
The design's ready.
Now, in order to advance any more tech levels, we need to mine more of these resources, which will make more recipes available to us. Okay, what do we have now? 8? That will give us 16 slingshotters. Shotters of sling! We already have 4 bow and arrow people. Well, and I was going to say we already have 4 bow and arrow people in stock, in supply. It looks like we can get a lot more than that if we want. I mean, why not? They're better than slingshotters. Hey, Green, how you doing? We've come to say hello. I think this probably should do it for this island. Dum-ba-dum-ba-ba-ba. Congratulations, O Crown Prince of Scylla, O Eternal God of the First Epic. And now we move into the second section where we have 100 more fellows, gentlemen, and more islands to choose from that are more advanced, with more people to fight against. Now, you might be wondering how these people reproduce when there are apparently only men. I remember in the instruction book it says something about, basically it's cloning. Something like that they reproduce through cloning. Let's take on this island here, I think. Because these islands will require a much bigger force, being larger islands as they are. We'll just try the old 25 strategy. And we will immediately try to make friends with Blue, considering they're right next door.
No way. No way.
Well, he's a friendly fellow. And you can see we're starting at a higher tech level to begin with. But that also means that the other players are also starting at a higher tech level.
The design's ready.
They're all this same sort of, whatever you want to call it, robes and square buildings and such. Tech level. Would you like to be friends yet?
No way.
I didn't think so. How about now?
No way.
Oh well.
The design's ready.
Let's take a look at our resources. So we have plenty of both of those things. Those are just gathered automatically over time. Maybe this will get us to the next tech level? Would be delightful.
We've advanced a tech level.
Oh, very good. Now that should give us a nice little advantage over our fellows. Instead of making an alliance with Blue, considering Blue is the only place we can put our troops right now if we want to advance, let's make an alliance with Green. We had an alliance with him last time. He was a pretty friendly fellow. Very nice. So now we can both just concentrate on defeating Blue, and then go up against each other. If we want to advance another tech level, it looks like our only option, considering we don't have anything to mine to create new recipes with, it's just to create this big ol' shield here, which is going to take a long time. In fact, it's going to take so long, maybe we'd be better served by just taking our troops out right now. Let's give it a try, might as well. We'll keep a careful eye on how many troops they deploy, so we can pull our troops out quickly if we need to. And they're fighting over here. Oh, they have 30, but it's Stone Age again. But they do have building defenders. That's something to keep in mind when we go up against Green in a few moments. Shall we join the fray? Make sure our numbers don't fall too quickly here. We're down to 28, because they do have those building defenders with spears. Once we get down to about 20, I think we'll pull our guys out. Although we can wipe out their building defenders, as you're seeing right now. So maybe, just maybe, we can win this one. That would be excellent. They're trying to build a new base. No, here they are. Even if they built a new base, that wouldn't be a big deal because I believe it would still start off at Stone Age level, even though we've started at a more advanced section, a more advanced place. So all of their Stone Age people against our magical slingshotters of magic. That's right, wipe them out! Because the power of slingshots. Congratulations, O Emperor Formica! Well, I really think that's enough of this. It's a pretty good look at the game. All the rest of the game is pretty much the same process over and over again, but it is fun to play. And you do get to advance further and further through the tech levels until you get more space-age sci-fi type stuff. So I think that's going to do it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you, RJ Nash, for hanging out. It's been fun having you here. And please remember that subscribing is very polite if you haven't already, as is liking. And tune in again next time for more fun.